Now we're going to get into the third step in building mental toughness. You might remember at the beginning of the presentation, I asked you how many of you say to yourselves, I'm a great hockey player, or I'm a great athlete. And for the most part, it wasn't something you all were doing. Now, there's actually a good reason for that. The human mind has evolved something that we call a negativity bias. And this serves a survival purpose because it helps protect us from danger, from being hurt or killed, which obviously is important. But when you're talking about building confidence and mental toughness, it's not a great feature because when you think about it, we all have bad days. We all have bad games. So the thing that we have to do as part of a mental toughness program is we have to kind of short circuit that negativity bias because it's very easy to dwell on the things that went wrong. You might be thinking about a game where maybe you missed a shot that you think you should have scored on, or as a goalie, you might have given up a couple of soft goals. It's really easy to get into a habit of revisiting those things and continually kind of beating ourselves up about it. But it's not productive and it doesn't help build your confidence. It does the opposite. It drags your confidence down. So here's a very simple process that you can follow to shift from that negative self-talk to positive. It all starts with paying attention to what you're saying to yourself about yourself. Or like I talked about a couple minutes ago, what you're putting on your personal Wikipedia page, okay? So you have to start paying attention to that self-talk. And that takes some practice because it's not something we're used to doing. And that's fine. It's not something you're going to, just get this overnight, most likely. But as you pay attention to it, it gets easier. So let's say you find yourself saying something negative about yourself. You're going back to that game the other day that didn't go well or something like that. The first thing you have to do is you have to stop that negative thought. So depending on if you're by yourself or with other people, you can say this out loud or to yourself. The first thing to do is to actually just say stop. And you can even picture, a big red stop sign like you'd see on the road. So you stop that thought. Now that you've stopped the thought, the next thing you want to do is you want to actually negate the negative thought. Okay, so you want to say something like, no, that's not true. You're telling yourself, you're telling your mind that this negative thought you're having about yourself is not the truth. Now, maybe you did have a bad game, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean that you're not a good athlete or that you're not a good hockey player. So, and that's the thing that we're trying to break is, having these thoughts that accumulate, that stick us in a negative spiral, that, drag our confidence down, that put us in a slump, all of those kinds of things. So now you've negated this negative thought. You've said, that that's not a true thing about yourself. Now you want to replace it with something positive. So in a few minutes, we're going to talk about affirmations and positive self-statements. And you'll create some that are sort of personalized to you. But it can be as simple as saying something like, I've got this, or I'm a great athlete, or I'm a great hockey player, or you can fill in the personalized thing that you're going to write in a few minutes here. So that's the simple process. It takes, maybe 10 seconds to do. And just to show you how simple it is, I'm just going to walk through it real quickly without the explanation so you can get exactly how simple and quick this is to do. So I start to have a negative thought about myself. I say to myself, stop. I visualize that red stop sign. I say, no, that's not true. And then I fill in the positive thing. I've got this. I'm a champion. I can do it. I'm a great athlete. That right there is how you convert negative self-talk into positive, affirming statements about yourself. And it only takes a few seconds to do it. So as you practice this, as you become more aware of the times you're having negative thoughts, this actually becomes super simple to do. And it turns those negative thoughts into positive ones that simply.